Let's start with a new topic: sequential logic circuits, latches, and flip-flops. So, before going into detail, what sequential logic circuits are, what exactly are flip-flops, what they do, all the answers to these questions are very interesting. This topic also covers us about the basic computer elements what we use in our day-to-day lives, the memory storing elements, and various other things. First of all, the sequential logic circuits are those circuits which have memory elements. That is, they store memory or they store the values which are in past. So the outputs of sequential circuits are are the current values, as well as they also depend on some past values. That is the reason they are called memory elements. They have the memory. Most of the circuits like flip-flops, they are used to store the bits, therefore they are called as a memory elements. Now the flip-flops and latches. The latches are those circuits that does not have a clocks. They are very much similar to the flip-flops. Now the types of latches we can see are SR latch, gated SR latch, gated D latch. Apart from SR latch, we have the latches that are made of NOR gates, that are made of NAND gates, and so on. So let's move on further. What exactly are the sequential circuits, how they work on, and what all the applications can be generated using this flip-flops. Similarly, we can see edge-triggered flip-flops are SR flip-flops, D flip-flops, JK flip-flops, T flip-flop, and various other flip-flops. Let's start with the introduction. A little introduction on what exactly is a sequential circuit. As we can see easily from this circuit diagram, sequential circuit are nothing but just the combinational circuit what we have studied in the previous topics, but the only difference is they have the memory elements. That is, they store the bits, and what all the outputs are, they are present or they are dependent on the current as well as the past values. This we can see from the block diagram that sequential circuits are nothing but just a combinational circuit. It have the memory elements, external inputs, combinational outputs plus the memory outputs. There are two types of sequential circuits. One it's synchronous sequential circuits and asynchronous sequential circuits. Now what are synchronous sequential circuits? Synchronous sequential circuits are those circuits whose outputs change only at a specific time. That is, the synchronous sequential circuits have one clock for all the circuits and they change simultaneously with the change of the clocks. That is why they are called synchronous. This means they are in sync with each other. That is, one circuit changes with the other circuit with the equal trigger of the clock pulses. In synchronous sequential circuits, clock pulses are included. Asynchronous sequential circuits. The asynchronous sequential circuits are those circuits in which the output changes at any time. That is, the asynchronous sequential circuit doesn't have a common clock. The output of one asynchronous sequential circuit may act as a clock to the other circuit. That is, the output of one circuit changes and the output of previous circuit changes. That is, they may change regularly or they may not change regularly. So that is what the asynchronous sequential circuit does. Now we'll study asynchronous as well as synchronous sequential circuits in detail, but let's go to some rough circuits like multivibrators. What are multivibrators? They are a class of sequential circuits. That is, they can be bistable multivibrator, monostable multivibrator, or astable multivibrators. Now, the bistable multivibrators are normally made of NOT gates. Similarly, the monostable and astable multivibrators can also be made of that. Now, astable multivibrators, that is, no stable state. Astable multivibrators can be made, or a circuit of astable multivibrator can be made using NOT gate, but the most important condition is that it should have odd number of NOT gates.